Hey guys, I'm Ruben and welcome to the very first Ru and Gigi video. Today we're diving into the Mastery Pack Guardian release notes. I'll cover the key points, break down how they work both in their gameplay and rules-wise. So if you're interested in these kinds of contents, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll do this every time we have release notes. Alright, let's get this started. So timeout. I just realized this is a really long video, so if you want to jump to a specific card, there are timestamps underneath the here, and then I will also put it in the description and probably in the comment section, so you can just jump into it. Thanks. Okay, let's start first with icons. If you can see in the cards, they are represented by symbols, but in release notes and other text-based releases from the Flesh and Blood website, they are represented by letters. Resource is R, power is P, defense is D, life is H, health, intellect is I, chi is C, tap and untap are T and U respectively. Okay, returning cards. So most of the cards here you've encountered these before, and most of their releases are found in whatever set they were released initially. What we do have to talk about is Seismic Surge and Valda, which we will do in the next slide. Seismic Surge tokens. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy this, then your next Guardian attack action card this turn cost 1 resource less to play. Note that each Seismic Surge token will trigger separately, so there is a priority window during each trigger. So since this is an action phase, there is a priority to respond. This is similar to how Might, Agility, and Vigor works. Okay? And I think So Shackle too. Alright? Now, even when destroyed while on the stack, like for example, destroyed by Scour, the discount will still apply. Take note, this is similar to how Runechant works. Okay, returning keywords. We have Battle-Worn, Blade Break, Guardwell, and Legendary and Heave. So Legendary, it's just for leyline of the old ones. For Heave, we will probably discuss this when we come to the cards that would have these effects. Okay, another returning keyword, clash. So when this defense clash with the attacking hero, the winner, there's an effect. All right. So there is usually no priority between effects. So the clash, reveal, and the effect, there's no priority between those. If there is no attacking hero when the trigger effect resolves, then the clash fails and there is no winner. Now, if you defend, if you clash with an attacking hero, say Valda attacks with High Riser, then that's okay. You can clash. But if it's an ally like Whaler Humperdinck, then you could not clash. Alright? It fails. The effect fails. We also have Crush. When this deals 4 or more damage to a hero, there's an effect. There's a new one in the set where it has to be a Guardian hero. So if you deal 4 or more damage to a hero, then it's okay. If you deal 4 or more damage to an ally, then the effect does not apply. Valda Seismic Impact is the adult version of Valda Bright Axe. But instead of having 42 health, 21 times 2, she only has 40. She reads, her first ability is, whenever an opponent draws 1 or more cards during action phase, create that many Seismic Surge tokens. So if they draw 3 cards from 3 of a kind, for example, you create 3 Seismic Surge tokens. Now, the ability is active, or it triggers during any action phase, not just your own. The point of having this action phase stated here is that if you draw up to your intellect, if your opponent draws up to your intellect, that's outside the action phase, so it doesn't count for Valda's effect. Her second ability is at the start of your turn, if you control 3 or more Seismic Surge tokens, cards you own with Crush get dominate this turn. So all of your cards that has Crush will get dominate this turn. So if you happen to have Go Again and you want to deal 2 play 2 cards with crush, then that works. This applies for the entire turn to all your cards with crush. Players can't respond to this trigger because this is at the start of your turn. Now, in a particular scenario where Valda's second ability is active and they happen to resolve Leave a Dent, then attacks with a Guardian weapon, the weapon attack will have Leave a Dent's crush ability, but not the weapon card itself. And since the card itself doesn't have the crush ability, only its attack, so only High Riser's attacks have the crush ability, Valda's secondary ability does not apply to that. However, if you happen to play Leave a Dent and play a Guardian attack action card, Valda's second ability would apply to this, because here the card itself gains the crush ability. Okay? So for weapons, only the weapon attack has the crush ability, but for attack action cards, the card itself has the crush ability. Okay? So for weapons, it doesn't work. For attack action cards, it works. Testament of Valahai. This is a new Guardian equipment offhand. 1 defense. But it has an ability, it has the static ability that reads, if you control 3 or more Seismic Surge tokens, this gets +2 defense. If you control 6 or more, this instead gets +4 defense. Now, this ability is static. It constantly checks the number of Seismic Surge tokens you control. So if the criteria is satisfied, then you will get the appropriate number of additional defense values. So if you get 3, it gets +2. If you get 6, it gets +4. Now, if the number of Seismic Surge tokens you control would be reduced, then it will adjust accordingly. Okay, for example, during the defense step, you block with Testament of Valahai controlling 3 Seismic Surge tokens. The defense value of Testament of Valahai would be 1 + 2 or 3. Now, let's say for the reaction step, you lose 1 of your Seismic Surge tokens, so now you control only 2. What happens is that the condition is no longer satisfied, so you will lose the +2, and the defense value would drop to 1. Okay, let's say this happened during the damage step. So, your opponent attacks you with a 4-power attack. You block with Testament of Valahai. So, blocking with Testament of Valahai with 3 Seismic Surge tokens, you would then receive or be dealt 1 damage. Okay, so you would lose 1 health. Now, what if, for example, you happen to lose 1 of your Seismic Surge tokens during the resolution step? What happens here is that the damage will no longer be recalculated. So, you will not lose 3 instead of 1 health. Okay? But what happens here is that during the close step, Guardwell sees that you only have 1 defense value. So, you will only lose 1. You will only put a single -1 counter on Testament of Valahai. Okay, Richter scale. Pretty straightforward, and I love the name. I love the art too. It's a common action. Destroy this. Create 2 Seismic Surge tokens. So, it doesn't have go again, so you have to be careful with that. And, yeah, Battle Worn, common. It's pretty good, definitely, for Commoner and Project Blue. Another straightforward card that is very similar to a older card. Gauntlet of Boulderhold. It says action for 3 resources. Destroy this. The next Guardian attack action you play this turn gets +2. Go again. Battle Worn. And 1 defense value. So, pretty straightforward. Definitely would see some play in Commoner and Project Blue. Crater Hoof. Another pretty straightforward card. Definitely be useful for Project Blue and Commoner. It says action 3 resources, destroy this. The next Guardian attack action card you play from Arsenal this turn gets Dominate. Go again. Okay, so it has to be played from Arsenal for it to get the dominate effect. Okay, it's battle worn 1. Yep. Hoarding of Denial. This gets plus X while defending, where X is the number of cards with cost 3 or more defending this combat chain. Now, unlike Testament of Valahai is constantly checking so long as it's face up in the arena. Hoarding of Denial's ability only checks while it is defending. Okay? So, another thing to note, the cost is the one in the upper right corner. Alright? So, if it's 3 or more, it adds to the defense value. Crater Fist is not does not count because it doesn't have the 3 costs that you are looking for in this upper right corner. It has an ability though, but it doesn't count. Okay. Now, for this particular example, Hoarding of Denial would have plus 2 defense value because you have 2 defense cards, 2 cards defending in the combat chain with a cost 3 or more. So even if it doesn't, even if the card is not in the current chain link, it still applies. Okay, so since it says combat chain. Now, for whatever reason, let's say Clash of Bravado from the second chain link would be removed from the combat chain, then your the defense value of Hoarding of Denial will adjust accordingly. Tremor of Resistance. It's a new card. It says, if you control a Seismic Surge token, this gets plus 2. Now, unlike Hoarding of Denial and similar to Testament of Valahai, this constantly checks if you control a Seismic Surge token. So, even if it's not defending, if it's face up in the arena, then it checks the presence of a Seismic Surge token, and if you do control it, you get this gets plus 2 defense value. So, it's not just during defense. During combat chain or while it's defending. Leyline of the Old Ones. It's a 0 cost blue Guardian Instant Aura, which reads legendary, so you may only have 1 Leyline of the Old Ones in a constructed deck. Its first ability reads, when this enters the arena and whenever you deal damage, you create a Seismic Surge token. Now, the entering the arena, it's pretty straightforward. So when it enters the arena, now whenever you deal damage, you create a Seismic Surge token. So if you deal damage to an opposing hero, or you deal damage to allies, then you create a Seismic Surge token. For every instant that you deal damage, then you create a Seismic Surge token. Okay, its second ability, which reads, at the beginning of your end phase, if you control no Seismic Surge tokens, you destroy this. This triggers at the start of your end phase. Okay? If you don't control Seismic Surge tokens, when this is triggered, the effect resolves, and then this is destroyed. Now, note, you can reorder your end phase triggers, meaning you can activate Heave first, and then check for control of Seismic Surge tokens with the second ability. Okay. Now, during your end phase, let's say you resolve Leyline of the Old Ones first before resolving your Overswing. What happens here is that Leyline of the Old Ones trigger resolves, and it checks that you don't have any Seismic Surge tokens. Therefore, Leyline of the Old Ones will be destroyed. Now, for Overswing, you will still create Heave, but since Leyline of the Old Ones is no longer there, it's already destroyed, then it doesn't really matter. Now, if instead you resolve Overswing first, you get 2 Seismic Surge tokens, and then Leyline of the Old Ones would read that, and then Leyline of the Old Ones will not be destroyed. Break Stature. So its crush ability reads, when this deals 4 or more damage, you destroy an aura token that hero controls, and then they cannot create auras with that token's name until the end of their next turn. Now, if you happen to get hit by Amnesia, okay, so you lose, it loses its name due to that effect, if it's destroyed by break, statues, crush effect, then the player may still create auras with that token's names until the end of the next turn. So basically, it nullifies the second line. So they can still create because the token that you destroyed doesn't have a name. Therefore, next turn, they can create that particular token. Okay? Okay, Clash of Bravado. When this defends, clash with the attacking hero, the winner destroys an aura the other hero controls. So take note of the word control. There is no priority between clashing and destroying an aura. So once the clash effect resolves on the stack, the winner is determined, and then that winner immediately destroys an aura card the opposing hero controls. There's no priority window to respond. Now, it says, right, destroy an aura the other hero controls. The aura they control can be an aura permanent in the arena, an aura token in the arena, a defending card with the aura subtype in the combat chain. So if it's a defending card and it has an aura subtype, it can be destroyed. A card with an aura subtype on the stack. So a card that is played that is on the stack while Clash of Barbados effect resolves can also be destroyed. Headbutt is a new card. It's a blue. It has 6 power, so probably gonna replace some of the blue cards in a Guardian deck. It has multiple abilities, so let's go through it one by one at a time. First one is, this can't be defended by non-head equipment. So this includes action equipment without the head subtype. So Evo Steel Soul Memory can be used to block Headbutt, but Evo Steel Soul Controller cannot be used to block. Now, if you have a head equipment equipped and the defending hero doesn't, this gets +1. This constantly checks both conditions, and this is only functional while this is attacking. So it's not functional while this is defending. So it's not gonna be a 7 popper. Okay. Its third ability says Crush. When this deals 4 or more damage to a hero, put a -1 defense counter on a head they have equipped. Then if it has 0 defense, destroy it. There is no priority between putting a -1 defense counter and destroying it if it has 0 defense. So once the Crush effect resolves, there is no priority window and you or your opponent cannot respond. Peck Perfect, a new card with an interesting ability. It reads, whenever a card defends this, clash with the defending hero, the winner destroys the top card of the other hero's deck. So, as with most effects in this set, there is no priority between these effects. Once it resolves, when the clash effect resolves, then the winner is determined, and then the top card of the loser's deck is destroyed. If there's no defending hero, the clash fails. So there should be a defending hero. Now, if multiple cards defend at once, the clash ability triggers for each card, each resolving independently. So if you block with card number 1, Peck Perfect triggers. Card number 2, Peck Perfect triggers. So you would have Clash 1 and Clash 2 resolving. If multiple heroes are attacked at the same time, each defending card triggers the ability once for the hero it is defending. So let's say it attacks Bravo, Peck Perfect, they block, Peck Perfect triggers. It attacks Valda, they block, Peck Perfect triggers. And then for each of those triggers, there's a clash, and then it resolves independently. If another player uses a card with Protect as a defending card for Peck Perfect that is targeting another hero, another player, then the clash will still be with the hero being attacked. So not with the player that owns or controls the card with Protect. Put M in their place is a new card. It's a Valda specialization. It has a crush effect that reads, when this deals 4 or more damage to a hero, they discard their entire hand. Then they draw that many cards. Now, if they discard 3 cards this way, they draw 3 cards. If they happen to discard cards from other effects, then it will not count to the number of cards that they draw. So you will only discard you will only draw that many cards based on the number of cards you draw this way. So there is no priority between effects. So once the crush effect resolves, you discard your hand and then you draw that many cards. Solid Ground. This costs 1 resource less to play for each Seismic Surge token you control. Effects that increase resource costs, like Frostbites, are applied before effects that decrease resource costs. So for example, you have 4 Seismic Surge tokens and you control a Frostbite token, you will not pay any resources. Okay? Because this is basically +1 and this is -4. Alright? Levident. It's a Guardian action, Majestic. It reads, your next Guardian attack this turn gets Crush. When this deals 4 or more damage to a hero, destroy the top 4 cards of their deck. Go again. Now, this applies to all kinds of Guardian attacks. Your next Guardian attack. So, if there happens to be an ally down the line, then it applies. But for now, it just applies to weapons and attack action cards. Now, if you use it for attack action cards, the card itself will gain the Crush effect. So, Valda's second ability will apply. Now, if you attack with a weapon, the weapon itself won't gain the Crush effect, but only the attacks of the weapon. So, as we have discussed before, Valda's second ability will not apply to weapons with the Leave a Dent's ability. Visit Anvilheim. So, it reads, remove X -1 defense counters from a Guardian offhand weapon you have equipped. Now, this can be played even if you don't have a Guardian offhand equipped, and you can also declare X to be 0. If effects that increase or decrease resource costs, so will only affect the amount of resources needed to be paid and will not change the amount of minus defense counters removed on resolution. So let's say, for example, you control 1 Frostbite and you want to remove 3 -1 counters from your offhand. You need to pay 4 resources. Okay, so this is basically X is equal to 3, but since you control a Frostbite, that's +1. So X +1. Alright, so in this case, 3 +1. Okay. Daily Grind. This is a Guardian action, Aura. Note, there is no go again. So once you play it, your turn ends, unless you have another action point. It says, attack action cards you control get, when this defends, clash with the attacking hero. The winner destroys the top card of the other hero's deck. Now, this ability is only functional, will only give its ability to attack action cards when it is face up as a permanent in the arena. So you have to play it first, put it in the arena before it becomes functional. Therefore, the ability is not functional if it is a defending card in the combat chain. Now, when this defense triggered ability attack action cards get will trigger when that attack action card becomes a defending card on the combat chain. So it has to resolve first as a defending card. Once it becomes a defending card, a trigger will be put into the stack. And then when it resolves the ability, you clash and then you destroy whoever if there is a winner. Okay, if Daily Grind enters the arena after attack action cards become defending cards, now they will still have the when this defends clash with the attacking hero ability. However, it will no longer trigger because the timing for them to be defending cards has already passed. Now, since it's already in the arena, and if there's another chain link, if you happen to defend with attack action cards again, then it will apply for those cards. So, for the ability to work, daily grind has to be there in the arena before cards become defending. Okay? And of course, it's last ability at the start of your turn, destroy this. Okay, Seismic Shelter, go again. So, your turn doesn't end if you play this. Attack action cards you control get plus X defense while defending, where X is the number of Seismic Surge tokens you control. Now, there are two things to remember. Number one, same with the shields, this constantly checks as long as it is face up in the arena. It doesn't, and number two, it doesn't apply to attack action cards if it's not functional, if it's defending. So it has to be in the arena, and it constantly checks the amount of Seismic Surge tokens you control. So if you defend with an attack action card, and then you have 5 Seismic Surge tokens, then it will get plus 5 defense. Simple as that. And at the start of your turn, destroy this. I'm just gonna give this a thumbs up because this is a good card and it's pretty straightforward. That's it. It's a thumbs up. Okay. Tester of Iron Grip. When this defends, clash with the attacking hero. If there's a winner, the other hero destroys a card. If it's a tie, nothing happens. If they don't have any cards in their hand, they don't discard a card. Applies both ways.